Hello children, I welcome you again in the online teaching session of Academic World School Bemitara. Here again I am with my another lecture from grade 12 biology, and the topic is same, the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Children, before I begin, I would request you to open your notebook and a pen so that you could note down whatever I tell today in this lecture. Yeah? So, shall we begin now? Okay. So, children, in my previous lecture, if you recall, I dealt with certain topics, and these topics, they were the pollination, then the types of pollination, then the agents of the pollination. These agents are biotic, abiotic. Then I dealt about the pollination occur or take place in the plants through the different agents, such as through wind, through water, through insects or the animals. Then I dealt about the outbreeding devices, the devices that are automatically found or automatically developed. It's the technique which the plants develop within them to prevent them from being pollinated by self. It means to prevent the self-pollination, the plants develop these all techniques, and such techniques we call outbreeding devices. Children, then I dealt about the process of controlled pollination, or we say it the artificial hybridization. Now, on this context, I will take you to the further topics, and this topic we call it the subtopics that we are going to deal today are the pollen-pistil interaction. What is pollen-pistil interaction? And then we will deal about the process of fertilization, which is the second event of the sexual reproduction. And then we will deal about the double fertilization. So let's begin with. So as you can see here, the pollen-pistil interaction. You know very well what does pollen mean, what does pistil mean. Pollen, it is the male part, or we can say the male gamete, and pistil, it's the female part, or here we refer to the stigma basically, so that these stigma only receives the pollen which lands after the process of pollination. So dear children, what happens, what exactly we mean by this pollen-pistil interaction? Interaction means a kind of face-to-face conversation. Yeah? So here what exactly mean by this pollen-pistil interaction? Now children, you just tell me one thing. When we are alone at home, our parents are not there. Sometimes it happens that somebody knocks our door. What do? Do we simply go and open the door? Or we see through this small hole to identify, to recognize the one who is knocking is known to me or not? Your answer will absolutely be the yes, we see first that the person who is knocking a door is known to me or is familiar with me or not. Then only we used to have the conversation with them, or we open the door. So what I want to say, unless and until we get confirmed that the person standing out is known to me or familiar with me, I won't open the door. So, this conversation is also seen in the plants. Now, here what happens? After the pollination, the pollen grains land on the stigma. So, this stigmatic surface, it receives the pollen grains. So, here I have just drawn the diagram of the entire carpel or the female part. So, this is the stigma. This is the style, and this is the swollen part that we call ovary, and this one is the ovule or the female, where the female gametophyte present. Now see what is happening here. If you see, I have drawn 3 different colors structure. You can see this is a red color. These are all the pollen grains. What are these? Pollen grains. So why am I telling all this? It is just to let you know what exactly pollen pistil interaction means. It is the most important event that lead to the post-pollination events in the angiospermic plants. That's why it is highly crucial for the plants, so that these can take these events for the processes. Now, as I have told you, there are suppose 3 different. For example, this is pollen A, this is pollen B, and this is pollen C. Let's say all these pollens. Now, the reason for making or drawing these with different colors to represent these 3 different pollens from 3 different species, from 3 different plants. So, suppose this A has come from species A, the B has come from species B, and this C has come from species C. And this entire female part, suppose this is nothing but the species C. This is for our knowledge. Yes? So now what is happening here? Once the pollen grain lands on the stigma, the stigmatic surface, it does not allow, does not permit all the pollen grains. Does not permit all the pollen grains means it only allows, it only permits the desired or the right pollen to go for the further process. Further process means the pollen grains germinate. But before these stigma recognizes or receives the right pollen, there is means in the stigmatic surface after the landing of stigma, the pollen grains, the conversation goes on. Conversation means there is the continuous dialogue that take place between these pollen and the pistil. Now the question is, what type of dialogues are being taken place at this stigmatic surface? So the dialogue is to recognize, to identify. Now these pollen claims that the pistil, I am with you, I am belonging to your species, you accept me. Yeah? But the stigma, it does not accept unless and until it finds this particular pollen which has landed on the stigma is of right type. So, you know that these dialogues are basically the the chemicals, because of the chemicals which are present in the pollen grains as well as the pistil. So it is chemical mediated process. What is chemical mediated process? The dialogue between the pollen grains and the pistil. So this is mediated by the chemicals. So what is these chemicals? These chemicals are boron, ionositol and the sucrose level. So these all chemicals, they make these pollen grains receivable for the further processes. It means that these all, it actually pushes the process so that these pollen grain can easily germinate if it belongs to the right type. So dear children, what is happening here? The continuous dialogue between the pollen grains and the pistil, which results, which results the promotion and the rejection of the pollen grains, which results, once again I am telling you, the continuous dialogue between the pollen grain and the stigma at the stigmatic surface, which results the promotion and rejection of the pollen grains. So this continuous dialogue we call pollen pistil interaction. Got that? So what is pollen pistil interaction? The continuous dialogue. Now this dialogue is between the pollen grains and pistil. So this continuous dialogue between the pollen grains and the pistil, that results the promotion or rejection. Now this promotion or rejection is of what? Rejection of the pollen grains. Got that? So this is what the pollen pistil interaction is. The definition of the pollen pistil interaction. So again, dialogue between the pollen grains and the pistil at the stigmatic surface to reject or to promote the pollen grains for the further process. And this is chemically mediated mechanism. And the pollen pistil interaction does not only stop here. This continuous dialogue, it doesn't stop till the pollen grain is accepted by the stigma and the male gamete is shifted in the female gametophyte. So this event, it lasts until and unless these pollen grains, they enter inside the female gametophyte. When I say pollen grain, means the male gametes, the male nuclei that enters inside the female gametophyte. Got that? Now let us see what happens when the stigma receives the right type of pollen grains. See children, I am using these terms, the right type of pollen and the wrong type of pollen. What does it mean? When I say right pollen means, see, there are three different types of pollen. One is a black color, one is a blue color and one is a red color. And this pistil, it is this species C. So this black pollen grain is supposed to be accepted by these according to this because it belongs to the same species. So now what is happening here? Once these pollen grains, when they land on the stigma, because the pollen grains are taken away by the wind, by the water, or by the other agents, and these pollen, the process of pollination, let me make it very clear, the process of pollination does not ensure the process of fertilization or fusion. It's just merely the coincidence. So that's why the stigma may have different other varieties, other species pollen grains also landed over there. But as the pollen grains do not belong to that species where have they landed, it will not be accepted, rather they will be rejected. And only these pollen, which is of same type, is promoted to form the pollen tube. Yes? So I am making the diagram here, what exactly happened here. So this is the pollen grain. It has the nucleus of vegetative cell. So this is vegetative cell and this is generative cell or generative cell nucleus. And this is what? Axine. And in between some places, these axine, it does not have that hard covering, and these are called as germ pores. So see children, what is happening? During this pollen pistil interaction, when the stigma, as these do not belong to the species, yes, though they have landed over this stigma in this species which is of C type. So what is happening? These pollen grains from two different species, they are denied, they are rejected by these pistils. The reason? Because they don't belong to the same species. That's why it is rejected like anything. What does this rejection mean? It means that these two pollens won't be able to germinate. Got that? But these C pollen, which is of right type. So what can we say? These two pollens are the wrong type. But these pollen C, it is the right type of pollen. So as a result, what is happening here? The germ pore. Through the germ pore, there is the formation of pollen tube. So same here also. I will make this. So there is the formation of male gamete. Yes, why am I saying male gamete? Because once the pollen tube is formed, what is pollen tube? The entire content of the pollen grain along with the vegetative cell, it emerges out through these germ pore and form the tubular structure, and we call it pollen tube. Got that? So in this pollen tube, this generative cell, what is the generative cell? The nucleus, it divides mitotically. It is already and it means haploid, and it divides mitotically and form two male gametes. Yes? So what is happening here? These two male gametes, they are present in these pollen tube. So these pollen tube, it keeps on moving. Let me tell you, this style makes these area or the entire we can say journey or the place suitable for the process of the germination of pollen tube. And you will wonder to know about these. You know that once these pollens, when they start germinating, and if the male nuclei has now formed and it has come inside the style, so what happens, there is a plugging also. Plugging means what? A kind of door, kind of wall, a barrier. For what? The barrier is for preventing these male gametes going back or going upward towards the stigmatic surface. So this plugging is of callose. What is callose plugging? So this callose plugging prevent the back flow, I could say, or back movement of these male gametes. This ensures the entry of these male gamete inside the female gametophyte. Got that? So once the female gametophyte, that is embryo sac, receives these two male gametes, then these pollen pistil interaction ends. Got that? So pollen pistil interaction is a long process. It starts from the dialogue between the landed pollen grain with the stigma or the pistil till the male gamete reaches to the ovule. So this entire process is what? The pollen pistil interaction. The success of the pollen pistil interaction, it lies upon the fact that the process of fertilization is ensured. It means once the male gamete enters inside the female gamete, then the process of fusion occurs. So let us see what happens in the process of fertilization. So what is fertilization? You can see here the process of meeting or fusion of male and female gamete, which results the formation of the diploid cell. This diploid structure is called as the zygote. When I say diploid means two end. These are the haploid means they have the single number of chromosomes. So this is what the process of fertilization. Now let us see how this process completes in this. So now I am erasing these two pollens which does not belong to the species. Yes? So let's see what happens. You see here in this is the right type of pollen. So this, once the stigma ensures that the pollen is of right type, it now start making the pollen tube. So this pollen tube, it starts moving towards the ovule. Now when these pollen tube move towards the ovule, so already I told you the structure of the ovule. In the ovule there are different areas. I am just making the structure of the enlarged view of this. You can see here this ovule. Now see here. These are the outermost covering that we call integuments. This is embryo sac. This structure, which is actually the main body of this, we call it nucellus. Now the basal end, this is called as chaliza, and there is an opening. These integuments, they are not we can say they don't cover the entire ovule, rather they remain open at a place, and this is called as the micropyle. Yes. Now children, what is happening here? This is the funicle, this is the hilum. Now what is happening here? Once the pollen, it starts germinating, along with these two male nuclei also come. Now there are three ways by which ultimately this will have only one place, one portal from where they can get entry inside the female gamete. And the portal is what? These micropyle. But these pollen tube, it may enter via any place. Understand? It may enter through any place. Any place means there are three different areas from which. One, it can come via the chalazal end. So such type of entry of pollen tube via chalazal, that we call chalazogamy. What is chalazogamy? Now there are chances that these pollen tube, it may also get entry via integuments, these integuments. So such type of movement or the entry of pollen tube via integuments, such we call mesogamy. What is mesogamy? Now third one, through the micropyle, which is directly. So that is called as porogamy. What is porogamy? So ultimately, through all these are the ways through which the pollen tube enters inside the ovule. But one thing you have to remember, there is only one way, one portal, one gate, one entry through which these pollen tube enters, and that entry is the only micropyle. Yes? So these pollen tube may use different ways, different routes through which they can enter inside the ovule, but they will enter through only micropyle. Now see, once the pollen tube enters, now let me tell you, inside this, the embryo sac, it has different types of cells. You can see here, towards the chalaza, there are antipodal cells. These are what? Antipodal cells. This is the central cell. And towards the micropylar, you can see, I told you already, these are the filiform apparatus. Now these filiform apparatus, the main function of filiform apparatus, already I told you, is to guide the pollen tube. Yes, to guide the pollen tube to enter. For example, I just make this diagram. Suppose this is having the entry. This is the pollen tube and it's getting entry via this. So these filiform apparatus guides these pollen tube to enter. So the male gametes now have entered inside the female gametophyte. So let's say this is one male gamete and this is another male gamete. So these two male gametes are now entered. Now once the male gametes are entered, the pollen pistil interaction is now over. Yes? So what is happening here? Once these gets entry, so out of two male nuclei, you can see here, this is suppose first male nuclei. So these male nuclei, it fuses to the egg cell. So here is the egg cell, this is egg cell. So this male nuclei, it fuses the egg cell. Got it? So this fusion of first or one male gamete out of two with the egg cell, we call it the process of syngamy. So it is the first fusion which occurs inside the female gametophyte. How is it happening? Out of two male nuclei, one gets fused with the egg cell. So this is called as syngamy. Yeah. So this syngamy results the formation of zygote, which is the diploid structure. Then what about the second? There are two male nuclei. So the second male nuclei, it also fuses with the polar nuclei. There are two polar nuclei present at the central cell. So the first already fused with the egg cell, that we call syngamy. It is also called as the true fertilization or fertilization. And the other one gets fused with the centrally placed two polar nuclei. And this process or the second fusion is called as triple fusion. You know that why it is called triple fusion? Because there are fusion of three nuclei together. How three nuclei? One is of male gamete and two are from the central cell. That's why the fusion is called as triple fusion. Got it? So as I told, syngamy results the formation of zygote, the diploid cell. Same this triple fusion, it results the formation of PEC. What is PEC? Which is actually nothing but the primary endosperm cell. So this entire cell, ये जो बन रहा है, this entire cell, it will be called as the PEC. What does PEC means? The primary endosperm cell. This primary endosperm cell, it has the nucleus also. So the nucleus is called as PEN. It means primary endosperm nucleus. Children, these are actually the result of the fusion. So PEN, it is the primary endosperm nucleus. That nucleus which is present in the PEC or primary endosperm cell. Now the question is, what is the result of these triple fusion then? The result of triple fusion you can easily see from this cell, primary endosperm cell. So these triple fusion, it results the formation of the structure that we call endosperm. Got that? So these are the various processes which occur inside the embryo cell. Once the pollen tube gets entry, after the pollen pistil interaction. Now once the process completes, so you will find that in the ovule, the embryo sac, it changes. You see here, after the process, this is suppose the chaliza. So here I have made the antipodal cell. Then there is the zygote. So this is what? The zygote. And here it is the PEN or PEC. This is actually the post structure after the fertilization. So you can see here, the antipodal cells, they degenerate. The filiform apparatus, they also degenerate. What do remain here? The egg cell, that is the completely fertilized egg cell, that we call it zygote. And the other structure is the primary endosperm cell. So syngamy results the formation of zygote and triple fusion. So here there is the process of triple fusion and here there is the process of syngamy. So now you got something. The next subtopic was the double fertilization. So see what is happening. There are twice the process of fusion occurring. One is syngamy, other one is triple fusion. So this process of fertilization which occur twice, we call it the process of double fertilization. This double fertilization, it is the unique feature of the all angiospermic plant that ensures the formation of assured seeds. Got that? Hope these all explanation will help you to know about the process of fertilization. So children, in today's topic we discussed about the pollen pestil interaction, then we discussed about the fertilization, and then we discussed about the double fertilization. Children, about this you will be getting the assignment through your ERP. So please download that and do submit once you come back from the vacation. Have a good day.